Hello, I'm Trevor Burton. The Flightpath package was designed to liberate all the data we hold about a student's progress since they joined secondary school to ensure they make good progress throughout. Instead of using tables of levels and sub-levels, Flightpaths are visual documents, so understanding them is easy. Here's a flight path for a Key Stage 3 student. The Key Stage 2 sub-level is there at the start of Year 7 for English and Maths. For other subjects, you need to decide what baseline you'd like to use. English alone, Maths alone, an English or Maths average, or perhaps your own baseline assessment. Then, 3 times a year, the tracking grades are shown. The grey lines are the recommended flight paths. They rise more steeply than national averages. The mantra is, stay on your flight path or rise above it. It's easy to spot when progress is not good. School targets are shown as blue arrowheads and Fisher Family Trust estimates as red ones. They're only available at Key Stage 3 for English, Maths and Science. Tutors are provided with a tutor group file, like this one, with all the flight paths for students. It's easy to see which subjects a student is doing well in, or whether progress has stalled. Subject teachers get flight paths organised by subject and teaching group. Here is 9A English 1 for Year 9. As well as summarising progress for each student, they have a panel of coloured squares which indicate vulnerabilities. For example, here, Kai Atkinson is Pupil Premium, but not free school meals. He is an ethnicity other than white British, and he has English as an additional language. There's a simple one-page guide to Key Stage 3 flight paths on the website, one for teachers and one for parents and students. There's also similar guides for Key Stage 4. It's important to keep track of how vulnerable students are doing, so for the Special Needs Coordinator, there are documents which bring together the flight paths of all the School Action students, the School Action Plus students, the Statemented students, and the Pupil Premium students. At Key Stage 4, most schools predict the final grade rather than the current attainment. So here the guides rise for 4 levels or more, but stay horizontal for tracking throughout Key Stage 4. There are horizontal lines here for the Fisher Family Trust estimate, for the school target, and for what you might expect from the end of Key Stage 3 score in that subject. Again, tutors get a sheet for each student showing all their subjects. It's really easy to see how well a student is doing. There are also documents for subject teachers with the usual flight paths by teaching group and with the vulnerability colours on them. Of course, at Key Stage 4 there are still the documents for vulnerable students, School Action Plus, Statements and the Pupil Premium. Finally, all of these documents are available for download in sample form from the website. Just as for achievement analysis, there are interactive charts of flight paths. We start with the race diagram. From the home page, type in 9995678 and click Login. You can choose different year groups. Let's pick the year group that finishes school Year 11 in 2014. Here you can see the English race diagram. Every disc is a student coloured according to the level of progress since the end of Year 6. You can see these students have made poor progress here, while over here they've made very good progress. Hovering over a disc shows the data card for a student, and clicking brings up an individual flight path, so you can see how their progress has been. Clicking again takes you back to the race diagram. At the race diagram you can highlight the students by lots of characteristics: special needs, pupil premium, free school meals, looked after status, gender, ethnicity, English as additional language. So you can see it's easy to find out which groups are doing well and which aren't. You can even highlight by teaching groups. Here's English B4 for example, where Chase McKay is doing well and John Flynn's not. The default highlighting is by full levels of progress, and for all of these you can see the key at the bottom left. You can also look at baseline level. How are your level 2s from Key Stage 2 doing, for example? And you can finally highlight by subject intervention, that's those students who are being helped by the English department, and school intervention, those students who the whole school's helping. If you want to find a student, you can just type in the first few letters of the surname here. So, for example, here's Charles Greenwood. The links at the top left allow you to download the underlying data and the PDF file for teaching groups.